thoughts on what those guys bring to you, adding 2 more big guys to the post, and does this mean you guys are done with this classic?
Well, I think both these guys, they both have good size and strength. Both can move the weight around a little bit, that sort of thing. But they're different in terms of Micah he's very good around the basket, but has really expanded his game since we first started recruiting him in terms of a kind of like a stretch big guy. Derek is long, he's athletic. Just watching his skill develop over time. He's a guy that both these guys are extremely hard workers. Both these guys were very excited to come to the Ohio State University, and it's funny, we usually had the most success with those types of young men. So, we're excited to add them into it in terms of where we go from here. We're always recruiting, but I know we probably don't need much more size anymore, especially with what's coming down the pipe for us.
You just said you don't stop recruiting, but I mean, people know the numbers. When you're out on the road recruiting, when you're full, what is the message to potential players when you're in that situation?
The odds of in college basketball nowadays, a team staying together is almost slim to none, and so we have to do our job in terms of being prepared if something happens. And NBA, overseas, whatever transfers, whatever that situation may be, we have to be ready. A lot like D'Angelo last year, we got Jake Long. I mean, it was I kind of had a sense in my stomach he probably wasn't coming back for a sophomore year, and we got fortunate in that regard.
And you had 2 guys coming in who opted to go the prep school route for their final years. Both guys said it was the basketball moves to try to get better. You saw Daniel go through that last year. Do you see marked improvement in guys when they play just against better competition at the high school level?
I don't know. First and foremost, contrary to most people believe, we had nothing. We've never had anything to do with sending a kid to a prep school. I always tell them that, hey, I want my children at home as long as they possibly can be if they ask. But I think both families were looking for something different, and it seems like I've been down to both places, seen the kids. They seem to be enjoying themselves, and I loved Derek's picture yesterday with his uniform on and everything. But I don't know if there's that much of a difference. I think so much of it just depends on the kid.
Like you said, you have a lot of size now in the post going forward. How do you see, I know it's looking ahead, but when they get here, how do you see them fitting in with the nucleus of the guys you already have that are kind of young?
Well, I think that it allows us more of the ability to play bigger, just in terms of can we play a stretch floor? Can we put 2 bigs out there? A lot of it's always predicated on the defensive end of the floor, but I like those options. I like that both guys are highly skilled and can do a lot of different things. So players find their way to the court, and coaches find ways to use them to the best of their abilities.
That it seems like Micah, maybe compared to the guys you've signed the bigs you've signed the last couple of years have been more maybe longer athletic guys. Micah seems maybe to be a little more versatile offensively and what he can do, and I think you touched on that. Just adding that kind of weapon to your lineup next year, what does that do for you guys?
Well, I think it makes us more multidimensional. Because Micah has great strength, and one of the things watching him this summer, I loved how he rebounded the basketball. He understood angles, he understood positioning, and those are things sometimes that are sort of hard to teach. I think with Derek, we've seen him kind of expand his game. He's a high energy type player, plays with a lot of emotion. And with his size and his length, that's something that, once again, that's hard to teach.